Ah, we are live! Excellent! Thanks, Arthur! So, we are live, apparently, on Odoo Insider, as every Thursday. You know, we're having some fun here because it's the Odoo experience in 1 week. It's the last session that we have on Odoo 18 at the moment. Well, it's technically 18.4, which is the version we are working all on at the moment. I don't even know if the version 19 is more or less frozen here. You should see what it's like outside. We have all the consultants working on their talks. Next week is going to be massive. We have smart classes. Well, we call them master classes now. We have the talks of everyone, lots of new features to show, lots of last things that are being done. So it's a very, very good mood here. Not in the studio, of course. I'm just alone with Arthur as usual. And we are going to answer your technical functional questions. Don't forget, of course, I'm always talking about that a few weeks before the event. It's the Odoo experience next week. So come to us. Let's visit the place, have discussion, go to the booth. We have all the product owners. That's maybe something I should mention. When you go at this event, that's one of the few moments when you can, I would say, bother, but it's more like ask questions nicely. You can ask a few things to our product owners. So when you have things that you really want to go deep in one industry in particular, or if you want to explore a few things, go there, meet us. That's the best event, the best place you can go during those few days. I'm sorry, because here I see it's still French, even though I removed it. Yeah, auto loading. I should change my settings somewhere so that it goes back to English, or just force it to ENUS so that you can enjoy it with a language that we all speak. All right. So I already saw a few questions on YouTube from Ricard. I'm going to start with this one. In any case, you know, I have a bag full of questions that you asked, and I didn't have the time to answer. But let's dive into the one that we have here. It's first. I don't think it's a complicated one. I'm going to start this here. So Ricard on YouTube is saying, okay, we have many products that are not storable in a warehouse, and there are one-time products that are created and sold. So the thing is, if it's not stored, there's no route being triggered, and you create a quote. It's something that you are going to sell, but you still need to resupply, but you don't want to manage the stock of. The thing is, the problem, you are not going to have a purchase order created, and so potentially you are going to have a sale order, and you don't have anything to purchase them before you sell it after. So how could we have, let's imagine if we don't have the product, stockable or not, how could we maybe ping the salespeople so that they remember that they have something that we need to sell, that they need to purchase from one place or another. Maybe it needs to be even in another software. Maybe you don't use a purchase together with a sale application in Odoo. I would doubt that, but that could be the reason. So how can we create a kind of a reminder for those kind of things? So in Odoo, I suppose that I'm still on a 18.4 version here. I suppose that the setting that we have is a regular case of a consumable product. I'm going to say, I don't even know if it's two M's, consumable or consumable, not sure. I'm really not sure about that. But that's, let's say it's one M. I will check after. It would be that kind of thing here. Product type is goods. We don't track the inventory. Previously, if I go on a runbot, not version 18, but 17, for example, this one you will see how it looks like, because I'm always on the latest versions of Odoo, but I know that not everyone is on the latest version. And so sometimes going back in time can be useful. And if I go there, go on the products, this is what you have. You have consumable. Here the product type changed. Before it was here that you selected it. And it looks like you had more things. We just wanted to make it simpler. So that's why, and by the way, I see it's only one M, so it was a good bet. So that's what it would look like in terms of a configuration now for something that would be a consumable. But if you do this, and I'm going to create a sale order, let's call it consumable product, you see it's not going to show me any stock. It shows the purchase and sold, but there's nothing like the stock on hand anywhere. So if I'm creating a quotation, and I'm going here using one of the guys I'm selling stuff to, and I'm using my consu here, 20 euro, blah, blah, then because of this, and I'm going to add a storable product maybe next to that. I suppose that this one is, maybe not. Let me check. No, it is. But I don't have quantities on hand. Maybe I should update that and put a few more. But it's in input. I will create a few more right here. Can I force this? Yes. What you're going to have is that you can ask Odoo to show you the impact and if you have stock available for that. But of course, if you add a consumable from a product, Odoo is maybe not going to compute that, since we don't want to track the inventory, manage the stock for those kind of things. I can maybe hide this one as well. If you want to have something like a reminder after a few days, there are several things that we can do. I'm going to show maybe the first one that I'm thinking about. It depends what we talk about when you talk about reminders. Would it be an activity? Would it be an email that you send? Different things that you can do. In terms of automations, maybe I will start with the easy one, which is creating an activity. And so reminder for consumable product. And if you do this, you can say that it's on a sale order. And we go there and we say that based on a time condition, after creation, or maybe after the last update, that you have to choose. Creation would be nice if you know that this one would be based on the creation date. You create the quote, you send it right away. That is fine. Something else that you could do is make it on a last update, but then last update is very, very generic. So changing just one thing here or one date somewhere. Anything you change will change the last date. Going on here debug mode, I will show it because it will impact. I need to refresh this maybe. It will impact the metadata that we have here around the last modification date. So this one anyway, if whatever I change here, it is going to change that date, and so potentially it could postpone by a lot this last thing. But maybe you say, anyway, when I'm creating a sale order, if I send the quote after that, it's not supposed to move. So after last update could be working. I'm going to use after creation, and we can say 12 hours after creation. And what do? We add an action, and we say I'm going to create an activity. So that one would work. And I can say to do, and I say the title would be check if I have enough products. That would be a first one. And we say due date, I would say in 0 days, so that we create the activity and then we say it's for now. And you can say that here you would like to have a specific dynamic user, and I guess use a salesperson instead of always the same person, but maybe you want to use another field that is the person that is supposed to resupply for that product. And so you could add a new field that would be that person and use this field, since here we are going to select a field for the user selection. So that is it. We can save this one. Because of that, I'm going to create a new activity. The thing that is important to realize is that this one, you should better have a filter that would exclude the ones that you already dealt with. Otherwise, you are going to create activities even for things that have been created 12 hours before, because we are still after the creation and we don't have a filter here. So Odoo is going to generate actions for all the sale orders that you have that have more than 12 hours, regardless of if they have an activity type to do. So maybe what you could do is remove right here the fact that you'd like to exclude all the ones that already have that activity. That is something that I know people don't pay attention to. And one thing that I see a lot, and I will illustrate that just after with another type of action, that is sending emails. They don't realize that as long as this condition is matched, what I'm highlighting here, we are going to perform the actions with an S that we have here. So it's important that once the action gets executed, if it needs to happen only once, you need to make your record get out of that condition. Sending an email, if I'm saying trigger after creation 12 hours, we are going to send an email every what? Maybe every 5 minutes. I need to check. Every time that this rule gets seen, more or less. It's not really accurate. I'm sorry, I'm going to the scheduled actions. And then the automation rules are here. So we are going to do that every, like here I see every 72 minutes. This one we are going to check the rules, and so we are going to send an email every hour and a half, more or less. So that's important to consider. So maybe what I could do is see if I can remove this, the ones that have this action from the filter. And one thing I could do is check if I can have a look at the activities. Yes. And if we have an activity of type to do or just a title, maybe I can work on display name. I'm going to say the to do. Okay, so here I should say maybe is not in to do or yes. So if they don't have, yeah, it's not an exact filter, because you see here it's looking for one that has an activity but for which the activity type is not to do. So you see it's getting a bit more complicated, since here if I do activities, activity type is in to do, it's going to find 0 record. I don't have any activity that has type to do. So it's exactly the opposite filter I would like, and the opposite filter is not in here, because it's going to propose apparently there things for which I have an activity but that is not a to do. So I should maybe rather say don't do it and use something that is a bit more simple. Don't do it on the ones that have maybe no activities, is not set. So that would be maybe a bit better, but then I have really a lot, and you see we don't have activities on these ones. Maybe also use the ones that are that have a state that is not equals to still order or cancelled, because those ones I don't mind. So have something that is a bit more restrictive here. And if you cannot find exactly what you need, I have maybe 2 other solutions. First one is to say, among the actions that you are going to have, you can create something that would be like check that checkbox. That one is a bit weird, because you don't want to do that for every potential action that you want. I would reserve this kind of thing for the action that you know will only happen once on that type of record. So what I'm proposing here, take it with a grain of salt. You could update the record and say, I'm going to update, and you would say one particular checkbox that I would need still to create, because I don't have any here, and you would update it to true here, so that you would reuse that checkbox as a excluding value here in your filter. So that you send an email, you put the checkbox to true, you only send it if it's false, so that you know you are not going to resend a reminder for the same product, for the same sale order. So that works with to-dos here. It could work also with send an SMS or sending an email. That would work the same way, and same principle about the exclusion principle that we want to have there on the filter. Another one that you can use, that's something that I think it's funny in a way. It's one that we never covered during the sessions here, which is a marketing automation app. Because this one, typically for sending an email and taking care of that email already being sent, that's maybe best to use this marketing automation tool, because it creates those kind of logs of, that action has already been performed, so don't resend it. In a way, I can achieve the same result here. I'm going to create a new campaign, even if it has only one step. Let's say send email for manager in order to resupply, something like this. Then I'm saying target is not contact, but I'm going to work based on sale order, so which is the object I would like to work on, and I would say that I would like to work on the partner unicity. Yeah, that one I'm not going to change. So you can have a filter, and I would like to add the same conditions, so the ones that have been created, creation date, yeah, and here you cannot have really a greater than today. So, yeah?
Yeah, I did something about
Okay. Okay. That's good. I will jump back on Ricard's comment on this. It won't change much in terms of communication, but thanks for the notice. So, you also create a filter here, and then if you send an email, you will need to use a new email template. I will save this one so that I think I can reuse a new I know, email template there, sale, order, reminder for products, blah blah, and then you would have a new template that you are going to generate here. Remind people of something to order. Of course, here, as it's supposed to be an application that uses that is made for marketing, it's going to propose you something that is a bit more complex than what we need. But I'm going to use just plain text and say reorder that product, and then use some things like object, and then I go in the sales line. I'm showing the product, so that would be something I could do. Doing this, you say I will trigger it after 12 hours, after the beginning of the workflow. That would be all right. It's not exactly it's not the creation of the sale order, however, so that would maybe be better to I don't like it too much because I cannot have the exact filter I would like. How I would have to create a dynamic filter, but you could reuse something like this one, as long as you know how to manage a filter based on timing. The real difference between this one and the automated action is that here you are going to generate let's say work items, so that when you send an email, you know it has been sent, and you are not going to resend a second time, with comparison to what we had in terms of automation that we had here, because I was telling you every time that we execute the check, if we have the condition matched, we resend an email. Okay, in the meantime, Ricard said they are not stored. He meant physically, but they are stored and counted in Odoo. But that doesn't change much in terms of reasoning, because here maybe you are going to say it's not a consumable, it's still a storable, so not like this one. You are not just going to use the BOM product, whether it's a BOM one, so one for which you have a bill of material or not. You can create that with another product. It can be storable. Maybe I have another one, like the t-shirt that we have here. It could be that. It's going to work the same way. Then let's take that t-shirt, and you see, as long as you have this with a forecast that is not positive, you can add also a quick message, so that your sales slash purchase people will resupply the same way I was explaining. But I'm always curious that if you want to do this, maybe the best is to have resupply routes being created. So reordering rules here, you create min-max rules. That is better. So at least it generates a purchase order, and eventually you ping people and you send an email on the purchase order creation, so that you create the purchase order, but you don't validate it. So there's anyway some manual action that is expected, and you create an email at that moment. So for the same need, you can have different levels of answers. It really depends. There are a few variations here between the first answer, the second one, using automation or the creation of a PO. Then another question, I don't know where it's coming. Oh yeah, we have already quite a lot of questions. Okay, a very general question, that is how to start after clicking the apps. It depends what you want to accomplish. So tell me more, Michel, on LinkedIn, which is the application that you would like to use, because they all have different purposes. Here in the show, usually we dive into a few applications. We have a lot of questions about sales, purchase, accounting. Today we covered just a little bit of marketing automation. We discuss project, timesheet, analytic accounting, CRM, from time to time, a bit of subscription or POS. We have a lot. So it really depends of what you need. And I have a second similar question that is from Vishnu on LinkedIn, that is saying, what is Odoo about? How scalable is Odoo for growing businesses? To what extent can Odoo be customized for specific workflow? How well does Odoo integrate with third-party tools? Or is Odoo available in both cloud and on-premise versions? I'm going to answer all of them. What is Odoo about? It's ERP / we prefer the second term, suite of business applications. So you have a lot of applications here. You have many more over there, like 74, that are real complete apps. And if you remove the filter apps, you get that amount of modules, which are sometimes one application with a lot of features, sometimes just a little bit, a little option that you can add on top of Odoo. The example I'm always taking is this one, sale margin. Sale margin. right here. That is you see just a small module here. If you install it, it's going to add, I can do it. It's going to add just a few extra float fields on the sale order just to compute the margins. You don't always need that, but clicking on that installation module, going in the settings, what it did was, it's the same as checking a checkbox here. Checking a checkbox installs the module for you. I've been in the apps, install the module manually, but it's the same as clicking here. And what it does is that on the quotes, it's going to propose margin amounts here, also a margin amount on the order line here in amount and percentage, and then show it also in the reporting here, so that as you have the margins now, you can also ask to have a look at the margins. So sometimes it's really a small app, like a module. Sometimes it's a big app, the ones that we propose. We make them evolve from one version to another, and then you have also all the community apps made by partner in places that we cannot afford to go to because we have a limited developer amount, because the community is way bigger than just Odoo, and lots of people want to create specific applications for different industries or different needs. So go there if you don't see exactly what you want on Odoo. Have a look, ask partners to try their applications. That's also how we want to make this community thrive and live. So that is Odoo, a suite of business applications that are all interconnected and that are flexible enough to make you connect them all. So you will see me, if you watch the show regularly, use Studio to create links between different applications that don't exist yet because they are really specific. How scalable is Odoo for growing businesses? Very scalable. I can give you a few examples. We have several clients that have several thousands of users. I'm going to mention us since we are 6,000 employees. I could have a look now if I want to have the real number, updated one from today. I'm going on my other screen and have a look at our employee count. We are 6,473 as of today at Odoo, and so we use our own Odoo as a tool for our business, and we use a lot of applications. If I show you our Odoo environment here, just quickly showing here, those are the applications that I have access to, and it's not even the total amount because I guess I don't have all the apps available on our own Odoo environment. So that was our own. So several clients with several thousands of users. You have lots of small companies using Odoo as well. At the beginning, like when I started working at Odoo like 10, 15 years ago, it was more like for SMEs, and then we evolved, and together with the fact that we have more and more clients that want Odoo, we improved performances, we added more applications, we made the application go deeper in terms of features that they propose. So that's why we have more and more big businesses using Odoo. We have even a team here in Belgium and in other countries like in the US, in Dubai, in Mexico, in Hong Kong, that deal with those type of big clients. So to what extent can Odoo be customized for specific workflow? Different level of customization. So you can do whatever you want with Odoo. You can develop your own apps, as was showing here, as long as you know how to do it. And we have tutorials online. So if you go on documentation right there, you will find under developer tutorials those steps here to understand how, and how to discover. I would start with this one, Server Framework 101, how to create new applications. So you can do everything you want. You can use, if you want, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could use just Odoo in its most simple form, that is just using the base application. So if I go here, I'm going to try to show you that. You could just consider using the base app, maybe there. No, yeah, that is what Odoo looks like when you don't have any application installed. Let's say I'm lying here because there's one or two applications installed. If I go there and I'm saying, okay, which are the ones that are installed, you will see here that's the bare minimum. That when you install the base application, everything else comes with it. But you could start your project like this and you create all your application on your side. I'm not saying that it is smart. I'm not saying that you should do it, but it is how flexible Odoo would be. You can ignore all the apps that we have and create all your apps on your side. I don't see in which case this would be useful, but just to illustrate how it can be customized. Then different levels of customization. We have one that we propose for small and medium businesses, that is using Odoo Studio. Odoo Studio, I'm going on sale order. If I want to improve the user experience because I feel like, okay, there's a field missing, I can open that little tool that you see here, top right, Toggle Studio, and it's going to allow me to add new types of fields on the view, or hide existing fields, change a few things because I don't like it. Optional products I never use, so I want to remove it from the view, so I can click there. Quote builder, I like it. Other info, maybe I want to add an extra field over there that would be some text. And then because I'm doing this, I can select the field and say, okay, it is extra text that I want, but only make it required, but only when, let's say, the sales team, if I go there, required when the sales team is the website team. If I go there, so that I can have some things that are conditionally required. You have lots of things. I cannot say how much you can configure and change things through customization of Odoo. There's so many. You can add a new button here, like the button I created here was to emulate the send email, but with another template. If you follow the show, you see regularly how you can add additional features to Odoo just by going on the SaaS platform, because I'm on the SaaS here, and extend its capability. How well does Odoo integrate with third-party tools? As super well, because you decide how you want to do it. There as well, you have different level of customization. You can use no-code applications like, or almost no-code, like Zapier or 98N. N8N, sorry. This one, I've seen a lot of people using this one with Odoo. I don't, so I don't know how to use it. I would like to learn, but those kind of things. You can also create, and that, going back to the development, then a bit more difficult, but completely doable. You can use everything that is API related to create your own calls to Odoo, get result, send it to your other software. It is the API is available. I don't know if we have somewhere here the external API. Here you will get some information on how to connect, how to extract information, how to create an API key. You can follow the tutorial and it's going to be explained there. And yes, Odoo is available both on cloud, on a PaaS platform that is Odoo SH, and on premise. I would not recommend on premise if you don't know how to host it. Based on the level of questions, it's my take. When I receive those kind of questions that are very generic, and people say, is it possible to host on premise? Yes, it is possible, but if you don't know already a lot about Odoo, I would not recommend it, or at least don't do it yourself. I'm not saying use our tools on the SaaS or on Odoo SH. You can trust another partner to make the installation for you, but in everything that you have to learn about Odoo, I think that learning how to make it on premise is not super useful. I'm not saying it's a waste of time or money. There are cases where it's useful, but ask someone else to do it with you, because I don't think that it's worth learning it if you don't plan to host it several times, like if you are a partner. Okay, that was it. I don't remember who asked that. Yes, it was Vishnu. Yeah, but you can enter in contact with us and we can continue the discussion or ask a few other questions. There are lots of videos available as well on YouTube if you want to learn Odoo and see what it is. And again, I'm going to talk about the main tech event in Europe next week. That is the Odoo experience. That's also where you are going to have lots of talks here, 400. So go there, go online, learn what is Odoo, or have a look at the keynote. Already that is mind-blowing. So don't hesitate to connect with us at that moment. Another question from LinkedIn is from Akshat that is saying, currently I'm trying to add multiple companies in any account, in chart of account, in accounting app, and system is not letting me. And those are four different companies, not different branch in a single company. Okay, that is a good one because I never used that. In V18, I think that we revamped the way multi-company works with accounting, but we can check together. I think that here I have anyway already some multi-branch and multi-company thing. So between my Belgium branch and Singapore, I could maybe change that and say that it's a Belgian company. So I don't have just the name of my, you see, by default, it's the name of my instance. Because most of the time, it's more like the opposite. People choose the name of company when they create their environment, and then Odoo is going to reuse the company name as the left-hand side here. But I could say it's my Belgian company. Just say this, all right. So here I'm with Belgium, And if I go in my accounting, this is what I have, configuration, chart of accounts. I see here group keeping per companies. This is what I have. Singapore, I have 142 accounts. In Belgium, I have 469. And if you try to add multiple companies in any account in the chart of account, let's see how this works. If I go there, click on view, there's a place where you could go there, and if I say Singapore, it's the code must be unique. I'm going to open another one because I'm pretty sure that if I receive that, that's because I already have an account in with the same number. If I'm looking at the company, so over there, I was on which one? 101000. So 101. No, we don't have it. It's fun. So I can check that. 10100. That's maybe where my knowledge about the accounting for the multi-company environment will be limited. So do I have another way to do that? Let me check. Yeah, okay, that is it. So I can use it just for one company here, and I think it's about the mapping that you should use, and say this one would be, and then mention another one here. Let me see if I have, so it was 101000 uncalled capital. Would we have something that would be similar? Or if we don't, I'm going to create another one myself. So it is an equity account. Do we have some equity that I can reuse? Equity. I'm going to rename this one since it's too. It's 203. That's also something else. You see, there's a difference between here, the code that I have. You see, it's dark gray or black, and while here it's light gray with some extra information. And I think that it's a proposition, but it's not the value. So you see, if I start here, I can put some info. I think that's because Odoo knows that the main company I'm in at the moment is a Belgian company. So I'm going to try a quick thing and say for the equity one that we had, that was 101 uncalled capital. I'm going to reuse something like here. I'm going to rename uncalled capital here for Singapore and try to see if this one I can reuse. So 203, so 203040. Let's confirm this one. Yeah, okay, and then 203040. Yeah, uncalled capital. Very good. So I'm going to copy paste this one and say it should be the code that we have here, so that here that code would, in terms of mapping, consider this one in the Singapore's one. I think that's what you could use in terms of reporting to know that when you group it, it will be under the same code. So I don't know if that's what you are trying to accomplish, or if it's really through this that you want to add other companies, but there it's going to tell me this, and this time it's giving me the duplicate code because it's already existing, and if I'm making a mapping like this one, I'm going to create another one and see now if it's accepting it. Yes, that is it. If I'm this time saying multiple companies, but I'm adding a mapping for a code that doesn't exist, Odoo is going to generate it. So I'm pretty sure that here now I will have a new account that will be generated by Odoo. Yes, there you have it. So it's a way for you to know that it's not the same account. It's more like one account has some mappings that are made with it. So it's important to consider that this account, it is linked to one company in particular, but we say, even though we have several ones here, it expects to have a mapping so that we know that the Singapore one would be linked to another account that is this one, because you still have the notion of having, and that I need to check, only one company ID per account. We can double check that by opening this. Sorry for coughing. If I look at company, no, you don't have company ID field anymore. It's just companies with an S. Let's go back to the chart of account. Here I'm only with Singapore, yes. So here I would suppose that for this code, you have, whether you look at it as a Belgian company or Singapore, you would have different values being shown. Let's go and check that. So we said, here I'm just with Singapore, yeah. So the one that we are looking for is 23401. But if I'm tapping now, another 100. That is okay. Then I maybe no, it says I maybe didn't type it correctly. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, I guess I made a mistake for the first one I was looking for because I was not looking for the right code. So actually, if you want to have different companies in the same account, you need to use right here. You can, of course, add multiple companies, but you need to have a mapping that is going to aim at codes that don't exist yet in that company. And here with that account number, so if you go here with the Singapore's account, you look for the account and you can change its definition. Here, say that you want, maybe it's a different type of account, maybe you have, of course, different taxes and tags or currencies, but that's how it would work. And here it's giving you this account has also the same information in terms of mapping related to the other one. So you see this, you see, have a look at that. It is the same ID in the database for 449, and you have here 449 as well, with here the mapping that is always showing the same way, even though those filters, those information may be different. Then another question that we have here, moving to the next one, from Atef on YouTube. In accounting, how can analytical allocations be blocked on a given date, like the log date for sales or purchases? I'm not sure of what you want to accomplish here. We use I'm going to explain a few things, and you tell me by commenting if that's what you want to do. So indeed, we have log dates here for saying I don't want to create new entries in the accounting based on those log dates. I understand from your question that you would like to have the same, not this time for journal entries, but analytic entries. So not general entries, but analytic ones. So that would mean that you want to make it impossible to create analytic entries. Where are you? Analytic items here, if you are past a specific date. So the easiest way to do that, if this is what you want, would be either you create a new model that contains that date, or what you can do is, if you know where it is stored, you could create an automation rule that says the following. Don't create analytic entries after specific date, and that date I'm going to hard code it here, but you could use a value that you fetch from somewhere else. That could be, by the way, the log date for sale or purchase. You just reuse the date. That would work. And then I'm going to say analytic, not analytic account, but analytic line. And I'm saying, okay, when I'm trying to create, if the domain is, so the date, because it's not so much a create date that matters, but if the date is lower than, and then you have your, let's say your log date, you say this. If you try to create something with a log date that is before, let's take another date a bit more in the future, that is before the 1st of July, then you can say execute code, and you say raise user error, like this. Impossible. This would be sufficient. And because you say it's impossible because of that, if I'm creating a new analytic item, completely random here, not linked to anything here, if I create it, it's going to tell me, yes, what is it? Account, where is it, the account? projects. Okay, so this one is going to work. I can create it, but if I plan to create one for a specific date that is in the past, so same information, same project, but before June, then it's telling me impossible. So that's here the kind of thing that you could have with a customizable message. It's most easy form. That's what you would do. Otherwise, if you want to take the same date as one of the log dates that you have here, maybe the everything one, you would go there, find the name of that log date. Let me go back in debug mode. So if you go here, log date, you have a few fields that you can reuse, like this one, sale log date on the account change log date. So you could go there and find this from, then you go here and account sale log date. I don't remember exactly the name of this one, so it's account change log date. Sorry, account change log date, and you search for the information you want. But I'm pretty sure that it's even. I wouldn't be surprised it's information that is stored at the company level. In fact, let's go there with my Belgian company. Let's have a look at the fields. We can do even better, I think. If I look at the log date, yeah, fiscal year log date, so I could use this one, or sale log date. Let's go. We could do this and say, in fact, it depends on the company, so it's even better. So we could do this. Let's remove, I will make this bigger for you. Here, if we do this and say, in fact, record, so log date. Log date is here. Yeah, we could do that. The only thing is I'm thinking about the log date of the company, because you want maybe to have it not hard-coded, but let's see here. I'm going to use that. We have on the record, we always have a company. Do you want me to promote the Odoo shoes? Okay. Guys, that is an ad. Can you buy them online?
Yes.
Really?
I think so.
So we have a shop page. So, guys, do you want that wonderful piece of equipment for your style and be very, very Odoo 2025? So those are new ones. Hey, they smell good.
They come by pairs.
Oh yes. So I don't need to pay twice to have two. Oh, that is crazy. Excellent. So those are the ones that you will find at the Odoo Experience. Thanks, Arthur, for fetching those. It's the first ad that we make during the Odoo Experience. I don't know what's the cost of that. We sell them or it's free? No, we sell them.
It's free for employees every 2 years.
Okay.
For the new ones only.
Ah, okay, but people can buy it during the Odoo Experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can customize them with
Customization of. Okay, excellent. I wonder if we have a. Sorry, guys, I will continue this just after, but I wonder if we have something like a shop page on our Odoo. Yeah, we have the shoes. Those are the ones. Yeah, please.
All right, guys. So if you want to see me, because for now you don't see my face, during Odoo Experience, we have a goodie personalization booth inside the shop. First, you pay for the personalization, and then you can come see us in the booth. And there's special things that never happened yet. In Odoo, we can customize merch, your own clothes, or the ones you buy directly in the shop.
Okay.
There's like 1 yearly badge to collect, and then 5 different designs. And we
All
can
right.
also put like text, like cut out letters and press them.
Okay. So not only shoes.
We can customize shoes as well.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to add some text on your like heel or so,
Okay.
might be doable.
So at the back of the shoe, we can customize it as well. All right. Good, guys. That was the ad moment of of Odoo. Continuing this one. So on the log date. So I'm going. Usually on analytic records, you will always have a company ID information. So I'm getting this, and if the log date is greater than something like, we could say date. I'm not sure that I shouldn't have removed the help, because I would maybe use like maybe it's date time today. I'm not sure about the thing. And if this is indeed greater, then we would say impossible. Let's see if this works. Usually when we add an action of type execute, you have the code here and you have things like time. Maybe it's time today. I can try that because date time, I don't need the date and time. So I'm going to try just date and we'll see if this works. All right, and since I have this one, and I'm not 100% sure, but usually accounting data will always have a company information. So let's go back here, let's go back there, analytic items, blah blah. Let's try to put something here. It allowed me to, yeah, but maybe that's another thing. Maybe we don't have the log date, so that is false at the moment. So when you want to check that, of course, you can also do this. Go here and say, I would like to know what is contained in the log date, so that you have some information. And I will remove this one because then I don't plan to have a date that is set here, but one that is set over there. That would be yeah, here today. Or it is true that in fact I don't need so much today. I could reuse that date, but I cannot go from here to fetch the date that we have there. So let's imagine that you would use a different date here on your side. But in fact, no, it's not this. So if it's not that I need to have, sorry, it's a record date. In fact, record date. If the log date is greater than the record date, then you will have an error. That is it. Yeah, it's the date field here, just date. Yeah, we can do that. Let's see again, just duplicating if it gives me an error. No, that is weird though. Let's go. Yes, I need to remove that filter, as I said, because otherwise my date is not lower than this date. I can do this. Let's recreate it. Okay, then it's the first of Jan, I suppose 01. So we have a default date that seems to be at the beginning of the millennium. So if I go back here and I want to hide this date, we can redo this and make another test. This time I could save it, but if I change now my log dates and I'm saying, because I was using the sales one, if I'm saying, let's imagine beginning of this, yeah, we still have draft things, but I don't mind. Let's say beginning of September, doing this. So now I have a log date. Let's try to put this on the 31st over there. Yeah, but this is on the creation. It was already created, so I should say create and edit. That would be a best, another best thing I could do, because then. Okay, then it's telling me it's impossible. That is correct. So the thing that was not triggering the error before is the fact that if you leave it, sorry, just on create here, you would be having the following loophole. You can create something that is a date after the log date and then edit it with a date before the log date, so people could trick you. But if you do create and edit, now every time that I'm going to have a date that is before the 1st of September, it's not going to work. So this is impossible. But if I go for the second, I suppose it would be possible. Yes, I can save it. So, okay, moving to a second one. I'm sorry because I see that my throat is not perfect. Sorry for the noise in your ears. Ask Vanya on YouTube is asking, hi Antoine, in Odoo 18.2 Studio reports payment receipt. We are able to switch the invoice line items for reverse chronological order to chronological order of the bill dates. It was not we are able, but are we able to switch the invoice line items from reverse chronological order to order of bill dates? I can check that. So in the payment receipt, so it's in a report. We can have a look at the report for that. Is it so much different than the 18.4? Because otherwise I would need to create a new database and it would take a bit of time. So let's have a look at payment receipt. So studio reports. Okay, so in the accounting, do I have a few payments here? I can create a new one. I'm going on an invoice. This one is posted, it's a very small amount. Yeah, but I'm in Singapore. Maybe in Belgium I have more things. Yes, payments, good. So this one, is it the print that you want to have, like this print, the payment receipt? Yes, that's the one. Okay, so this one, in order to know what is being shown there, we need to know what would be in the list and how Odoo orders it. So we can make a first test. I'm going to at least have 2 items with different dates. So creating a new payment here, the amount, and then we have the payment date over there. I'm creating the payment. It doesn't matter so much at the moment, the status. All you mind about are the dates. So let's check something, because here I'm ordering the dates before printing. So I'm selecting this. It's the July, yes, July 1 before September 1. Let's print and let's see if it has an impact on the printed document. This one we see it's first, yes, July, and then September. I will delete, remove it, and then do the opposite, checking here, so that it's another order, selecting them, printing, payment receipt. And we do that. So if you go here, it is following the order as you would expect. So first thing I would say is, before you print, change the order here. It is way faster to do this than to change anything else in the PDF, even though we can explore and see if it is possible. Now, going here, I could go on the view list and say, in this particular place, I would like to have a default order. Here I see we don't have that. I don't know if we can do that with Studio, I'm not sure. So I'm going to open Studio first, because I'm always going in the code, and that is a bad idea. Let's rely on Studio first and see if, for the list view, we have a way we can sort by. Yes, and we could sort by date here, so that then you say ascending or descending. So if you do this, then it's always in the right order for printing. And so that's what I would recommend. You just use a bit of Studio, and you don't need to change the report. So that is working. But then you say chronological order of the bill dates. It's maybe different, but in that case, I would do, sometimes I'm answering in different steps. So we have already first part of the thing. Then if you have the bill dates, you need to, you do essentially the same thing. The only extra thing that we need to do is maybe the following, is saying, okay, on my payment, I would like to have something extra. That would be a date field. I'm going to use a related field here, although it's not perfect. It would be better to use maybe a min to 1, where you choose or automatically choose the invoice, because what I'm going to show here will work for customers, but maybe not for suppliers. I will need to check that. But I go here. I'm saying, you know what? I'm interested about the invoice, and particularly the date of the invoice. So doing this now, I'm creating a new field that is, I will call that invoice date. Then I have the invoice date, but of course here the first, like the second one, you see the same date that we have for between payment and invoice, but the second one not. So it doesn't change anything. You could be then changing the ordering so that it's not the date anymore, but you change and you say it's not ordered by date, it's ordered by invoice date now. And you cannot, because it's a related field, so I will need to store it first. Let's see if I can do that. If not, if not, I will need to use that in a different way. It's not a big deal. Let me check that, because I'm never sure. Precision, blah blah. One quick check that I could make is going back to my accounting, customer invoices, customer payments. Then yeah, it's true that we cannot order by this one. I suppose it's because it's a related field. We can have a quick look at this by doing the following. Let's go and have a look at the field definition here. Not the view, sorry. The field definition. And it's my studio field, that's the one, right here. Can I force the stored one just to see if now it can work? Let's see that. Yes, now it can be, as it's stored, now it can move. Okay, so that was a solution apparently. So let's close this one and reopen it so that we can go on the invoice here. So on the view and say, I would like to do it on the invoice date. Is it available now? Yes. Good. So multiple step thing, but that is quite cool. I like the exercise. Yeah, then you have it here. And it will follow also the date. I'm going to switch it one last time and we can select them and print. Since what matters for the printing is the order of the item that you have here, if I print the receipt, it's going to work. Okay, so rediscussing this. So you see this one, yeah, don't get lured. The date here is not the one that you have over there, it's that date. So it can be different between those two, especially for the second one. So here it would be yes. And we show the invoice date also. All right. So what we did is going in Studio and creating a new field, taking the invoice date. Pay attention if you have several invoices. We need to check what's the date that is selected. And maybe you have one payment for several invoices. So that's why I said maybe it's better to use a computed field or some extra automated actions to find another date that is if the related field fails. But in terms of printing, Odoo is going to follow the order of what you have in the list. So make sure that you are going to customize the view so that you select another ordering. That would be the ordering based on the date that you select from the different invoices, and that would work. Vishnu that is telling me to take strepsils. I would love to. I don't have. But it's just that maybe I talk too much, I know. But then I would need to maybe take a bit of honey before the show. I don't know. What would you recommend, Arthur? What can I do for that?
Milk and honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Milk and honey, maybe. But yeah, thanks for the advice, Vishnu. All right. Enes on LinkedIn is saying, can we set up Odoo on-prem for backup purpose while using it on Odoo SH? Yeah, you can do that. The only thing is that it's going to be a bit complicated if you want to automate it. Odoo SH, I'm just showing a quick thing. If you go there, you click on backups and you see the backups that you have available on Odoo SH. So simply saying here, hey, let's download the backup. You have it, Odoo is going to make it available for you, and you would have it on your side. And it could be for backup reasons, or simply because you want to maybe have your production environment on Odoo SH, but have a Power BI or I think it's Metabase or some of the tools like those ones for which you want to connect and have your own reports on another system that maybe you like and are good at. So you could be doing that. If you want to automate it, there's one way of doing. That would be connecting in SSH to the environment. And once you open the shell, once you are connected here, you have access to the is it data or backup daily there. And then you have the latest backup. So you can have something that fetches automatically the backup here and brings the backup back to your server. That is something that you can script on your side. I don't know how, because that's a bash script or the connection that you would have from your computer. It's really not something I've been using. That would be a good question for Emanuele next time that we have Odoo SH conversation or tech session like here during the Odoo Insider. But this one, yes, it is possible, and that is the way you would need to do it. You have some information about SSH here for how to connect. Then you would arrive at a specific place, browse the right folder in which the backups are located. rsyncit, wget, I don't know what would be the best thing here. But that is possible. Okay, Abdur on LinkedIn is saying, how can we change journal once it is confirmed? You cannot. So once it is confirmed, so let's go back here. Yeah?
For every country in the world?
For every country in the world, what?
For the journal entries.
For this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because...
For law, we comply.
Yeah, okay.
Some countries we can maybe
So there are different levels of compliance, but I see what you mean. So Abdur is saying, can we change the journal once it is confirmed? My short answer is no, because what is true is that here the record as a whole becomes read-only, and so as it's read-only, I cannot change the journal. Now you see that there's a catch. You can reset to draft, but it depends of the rules that you have, among which on my side I played with the log date, so that's why you have this. So here if I'm going on a Belgian one for which I don't have any log date, maybe that would be better. I could use this one, reset to draft, and then you see I could be changing the journal. Not even if I cancel reset to draft. Even there, I cannot change this one. Is it because I already have payments and things that are done there? Let me check with a new one. I'm not saying it changes every version, so here it can be changed, but maybe sometimes there are a few small differences between what you can change and how you can get back. So I'm going to confirm this one. Confirming will bring a number there, so I cannot move it from journal. Restoring to draft, same story, cancelling, even if I force restoring, you cannot. So here, that you will see, do we see the read-only? Yeah, you see it was posted before. So the read-only, it's just a line before the end. You see read-only if it was posted before and the name that is set. So it is not a blank name, it is not false, it is not just a slash that we use a lot for the first time that you create an entry. So those are the conditions for which it is read-only. So just the fact that it's posted before will give you that. Now, I'm not saying you can cheat, but you can have an automated action that removes the posted before information, so that you can, when you click on reset to draft, it removes the posted before value. Maybe it's a checkbox, we can check that together. I'm not saying that's what you should do, by the way. Posted before, it is a boolean, so you could remove it when you click on it's not nice because we shouldn't play with that in a way, but technically it's possible. We could say reset to draft, remove posted before. You can go on account move, and if we have something for which the trigger when we create an edit, we have something that was like posted before. Maybe it's posted before, I cannot change it that way, so we'll see when it's set and not posted before, yeah, posted before and whatever, and the status. So, and the status is posted, and then you go back to status is draft, whatever the thing, you can say update the record, and you say posted before is no, but that is not something that you should play with, because otherwise you maybe potentially have mistakes hold in the accounting. So really that is not something smart to do, to be honest. So if I'm going back to this one, resetting to draft, checking a bit, is it cancelling resetting to draft? Not even there. So because it's posted before, I should have a look at what is this one. Did I change it correct? Here, update posted before is set to no. That is fun. Let me check that one, because it looks like that posted before thing is not moving. Posted before, let's show it here. Yes. So I will confirm. Reset to draft. That's where it's moving. So now it's available. So I was cancelling, and while it's reset to draft, that really matters because it's moving from posted to draft. So that is technically doable, but I really don't advise it. I'm playing here a game that is not correct, because those kind of things, there are a lot of places. Here, it's first of all, it's a legal constraint in lots of countries. So I would say don't play with that. Second, even without the legal constraint, doing those kind of things make you believe first that it is going to work, and then later down the road, maybe in 6 months, you're going to have realized, okay, I've some information that is inconsistent. Why? And it will take some time before you realize that it is because of a change that you made yourself, and it's going to take some time for you to debug. So it's always good to really question, like, should I do it? While there's an easy other answer that is just reverse the entry. You reverse the entry, you create another one, you put it in another place, or yeah, that's what I would say. That would be the best first answer I should give instead of removing this posted before thing. All right. Oh, I think, Victor Hugo in front of me because we have a long text. Okay, in Odoo 18, we are setting up outgoing and incoming email. We have 3 companies. For the first company, we use Google Clouds OAuth with our workspace account. Second company, we use free Gmail account with username and password. We send an invoice email to a customer from the first company. It goes to the correct email account. But when we switch to the second or third company and send an email to a customer, the emails are still sent by default from the first company's email account instead of the respective company's email, even if we configure all 3 companies with username and password methods. Is there any solution to this? I will need to see your settings because when it comes to emails, it's really hard to do without to guess what's happening without having a look at how the configuration is done. Based on what you say, usually what matters for what you have here is that when you go and you have, so it's just about sending at the moment, not reception. So we can focus on this. When you go for an outgoing email server, you see here if I'm doing something that would be, so you say on Gmail or OAuth, because that's what you mentioned, you would need, and I'm going to show that, Gmail or OAuth test. If I'm doing this, it will tell me you need to have a username. That would be the Gmail username. So on my side, for example, if I needed to do that with Odoo, I would need to do this. Oops, there. But then this one, you see, automatically it fills in the from filtering. So this one, the email will be sent with this username, but only when the email that is created as a from email address, that is this one. That is what the from filtering is about. So one way of ensuring on your side that second and third company don't send email to customers through this kind of email would be to use to check first that the from of the email you are sending is not matching the username that you have here, because that is one of the first things that Odoo is going to check. Do we have a perfect match between the email from, so the email that you are generating, and the from filtering that you have here? Yes, then select this one. So one way of doing this is to have in your companies, if you said, yeah, you use Odoo 18. In your companies here have email domains that are different for different companies. So that you use default from that are different and other things that are different, but the user on his side, that's maybe why you have the issue, is that the user information over there, the email that you are going to use is not going to change because of the user. So if you send it with a user, the from will be always the same, and the from will reuse every time the same outgoing server. So for this one, I don't know if I would have any solution apart from using always email templates so that you can rewrite the from. Yeah, if it's, I guess you don't have the issue with email templates, but you have issues with personal emails. And in a way, I suppose that on your side you use 3 different companies that operate, or 3 different email servers that operate under the same company name or same people. So I'm not sure. But if what I explained is not sufficient for you to make a good filtering, maybe what you have as a situation is that you have one person that has the same email address working in 3 different companies, and you would like to select the right outgoing email server, but that you cannot do at the moment where you send an email. Let's go here. If I'm sending an email from there, send message, clicking here, you can load template, and if you load a template is potentially linked to an email server. I will show that after. But the from here, you don't get to choose it. The from is going to be company default setting or your own email address, and it will be the same if it's taking your own email address and not and you send something that is not based on a template. You are going to use your email field, and so we are going to have the same from filtering. So that is going to be maybe complicated, and I don't think that we have on our side here. I don't think we have company-related stuff here. Like, nope. I can check here with the fields, but I don't think that this is linked to company. Nope. So, is it a test that we could make? Not sure. That Odoo is going to have a look at this. That's a test that we could make. Let's imagine that the from filtering here wouldn't work because you would have the same person for the same username using 3 different emails. Maybe you should create access rights so that when you are in one company, Odoo doesn't see the other SMTP servers, but I never tested that, and I'm not sure that's something I would recommend. But if you can afford having different users' email addresses, that should work, because the from filtering is very effective in selecting the right SMTP server. So I would guess that the issue is this one, and OAuth forces you to have the same username as the from filtering. So I would think that's the issue that you have. Hamed on LinkedIn is saying, how can we customize the app according to our requirements? It is very vague. You can do it in many different ways. Example we had from 5-10 minutes ago was how to customize the payment receipt so that it takes into account some date, that is the invoice date instead of the payment date. And that is what we did, and it was one way of customizing. We have lots of other ways of customizing, but and I would say it's limitless. Try me, but you have a question that is really broad here. So that's maybe better to come with a real example of something that you would like to customize before I can tell you what. Then we have Hassan on LinkedIn that is saying, can you please explain step-by-step process of how to connect Odoo SH with a GitHub repository and set up a project, from creating the project, linking the repo, setting the branches, installing the module, to finally running the database? Yes, I can do that. I'm thinking about how I can do it best, because it would require to create also a GitHub user. So maybe we can do that. I have a bit of time because you have the last question before now Arthur created a new one. So I can answer this one. I will try to make something that is complete. But I don't know if I won't have any struggle with GitHub, for a simple reason, is that I will need maybe some authentication. So we're going to try this. Let's go. I'm going here with my favorite fake account, Henry, here. And let's see. I don't think I have a fake GitHub account with this guy. So let's try. Do I have Henry Keegan thing here? I don't think so. Can I continue with Google and select Henry Keegan's account? Okay, I'm going to continue. Good. All right. I'm going to be in Belgium. Okay. Test Odoo. Or okay, yeah, I would say test Odoo. All right. So that would be my user. I can create an account. Product update. Blah blah. My email. Okay. Create an account. Checking my account. Very good. Cool. This is what I have. So let's see if now I can go on Odoo SH. I can sign in. And I'm going to say, it says here, I suppose it is already, it knows that I'm connected on the other side, right there. So I don't need to connect, I just need to authorize. Hopefully it's not going, yeah. It didn't ask a few things like 2 FAs, MFAs, simply because I didn't configure it that way, which is good. And then you would arrive on such a place and you see your GitHub user right here. You could have this from the home page, and clicking on deploy your platform here will lead to the same thing as create new. Clicking on create new is going to ask for more things like linking your repositories to Odoo SH. So there's not much that we are going to check anyway, so I'm going to authorize that. And there I have access to some things where I can say I would like to use a new repository. Anyway, existing ones, I don't have any, so it will be a new repository anyway. You choose a version, and here you can see that the versions are the 3 last ones on Odoo. I don't know if with version 19 next week, we are going to have an extra line with 19, 18, 17, and 16, or if we will make it impossible to create it on 16, I don't know. And then here you have a subscription code, and that subscription code, you need to be a partner to get it. So I'm going to use one on my side. That is my subscription, because I'm a fake partner in our Odoo, and going to copy paste that. Okay, so I can, yeah, whatever, please leave me alone. All right, oops, I can copy paste this, and since this is giving me a good result, I can deploy, and it's going to provide a name. Yeah, let's call it Odoo Insider. Odoo Insider here, I can deploy, and this is going to take 1 minute, not even, before. Yes, good. Yeah, I can save it here, it doesn't matter. You have a quick onboarding showing a few things, but I will dismiss it. And now you have a first environment that will be created, main. Why? Because now if I refresh this one, as I created my first project, but I initiated it from Odoo SH, Odoo SH connected and said, okay, you wanted to create a new repository instead of using an existing one, so let's create a new repository on GitHub. So this one has been generated from Odoo SH, and here I can move it to production, that main branch. All right, yes, so that it will build it a bit faster, and that's the main branch that you have here. It's the only branch that I have. If I'm interested in creating a new branch of development that I would call dev branch 1, doing this, enter, it's going to propose to create another branch, and this one here, refreshing, now I have a new dev branch. So that is how Odoo SH is going to communicate. I will make a few developments here, not directly on GitHub, even though that is possible. Huh? You could be editing the files, creating new files, things like that, but most of the time, developers are going to make local changes, push it to GitHub, that will then push it to Odoo SH. But that is how you do it. Let's check. So connect to Odoo SH, GitHub repository, set up a project. So there I am, leaking the repo, there I am, setting branches, there I am, installing modules. We can do that to finally running the database. Installing module is not happening in GitHub or in Odoo SH. It's happening, or Odoo SH interface, I should say, it's happening on the database. So going here, what Odoo did is starting a server in an environment that will be the future production environment, so I can connect to that environment. Apparently not. So let's see why it's giving me an issue here. Odoo log, blah, blah. Do I have something in terms of installation? Maybe I should restart it. Yeah, don't show me this again. That is weird, because I shouldn't have an issue. Server overloaded, because internal error, while here I don't see anything in my logs. Do we have something here? I can rebuild it if needed, because as I moved it from one place to another, maybe there's an issue. I can go there. Can I rebuild it from here? Nope. I will move it to development. It's going to tell me, yeah, it's dangerous because it's a production database, so maybe that's going to be a disaster. I will move it back there. It's going to rebuild it, and we'll see. I'm quite astonished, because usually that's something that goes quite fine. This is for the production environment. As it's the first time I'm doing this, it will be empty, like I was showing at the beginning of the show. We are going to have just the base application installed and the settings. That is all I will get, and I will need to install new applications in that new environment. While here, you see it takes more time because it's installing a lot of things. It depends on the settings that you have. It's creating a new build every time that will ask for a rebuild. And here, it's potentially, it's always testing a lot of things. If you uncheck use default and you want to go a bit faster in terms of testing, you can remove that. Don't do it for real, because when you are developing, you want tests to run and tell you if there are things that go wrong. But maybe you want sometimes things to get a bit faster, so you could do this, save the changes, and the rebuild will take less time because you are not going to execute all the tests all the time when you install or when you rebuild your environment. So now here, are we good for the main environment? I'm astonished that it takes so much time because this one usually it's quite fast. But then the only thing that is missing for your demand is installing modules and finally running the database. So this one, I'm waiting for this one to be ready. Okay, but starting build, okay. I'm going to refresh a lot. No, I'm not going to bother the guys from the Odoo SH team. Installing, okay. You can follow, I think, the installation here. Yeah. No, it seems finished. But maybe that's the previous one. Okay, we can. Good. So it took 2 minutes. If I connect here, it seems to be working this time. No internal server error. That's where you arrive. And then you can start installing modules. So going here on the apps, let's say I want the CRM, I activate. It's important to consider that what I'm doing, first, here the project is going to last only 30 days because I'm using a partner key, not a client key. Partner key are made for testing purposes. You can have many different Odoo SH instances just for testing purpose for one client, another one, even create some code. Once the 30 days arrive at the end, you delete the project, you recreate a new one, eventually with the code that you already generated, so you can reuse that, but it's just that you will be on a new database and environment on Odoo SH. If you are a client, you have a key that will last forever or until the end of your contract. Okay, so here installing the CRM, that would be my production environment for the future. And so here, the information I'm going to add would be production information. If I want to have a duplicate of this one in my staging environment, then clicking on the little plus, I would create a new branch that would be a staging one based on the main one or the dev branch, but usually it's the main one. And then on this one, you would have the same copy of the database in production on which you would add extra things, create new flows, test a few things before you put it in the production if you want. Hassan, for that, I'm pretty sure that we have, first of all, we are going to create, it's in the making and it should arrive before the end of the year. We are creating Odoo SH smart class, master class, that is going to be available on I'm going to close this one. I don't think we'll need it after. So you'll get that on odoo.com/slides. There you have all the things that we have, and all quests. Where is it? Yeah, you have master classes. If you go here, you'll get soon an Odoo SH master class. It's in the making. It will be there before the end of the year. That would be a first thing. Second one, I'm pretty sure that we have during the Odoo experience as well. Going back there, checking the agenda in terms of talks. I would be surprised that we don't have anything where we have some Odoo SH magic. Where are we? Yeah, the search feature is cool, but the problem is that it's only highlighting things. Yeah, maybe it's on the right side. Maybe the search with a dot, like for Odoo SH, is not working fine. We have so many rooms. Yeah, I'm astonished that we don't have anything here. Maybe it's the search that is not great. Let me check with. Yeah, I think it's the dot. Maybe it's Odoo SH just to work words. So I'm checking if we have. We have Fabien Magazzi, that is the guy of Odoo SH, so I wouldn't be surprised that he would be the one doing it. If we add a talk, just checking again. Okay. No. Or maybe Stan? Another guy from the Odoo SH team. There we have. Nope. Nope. So you see that those are the ones that are matching a filter. Maybe I should better use Odoo. Do we have SH? But then SH, I'm going to have a lot of things. Do we have a .sh thing? No. And Odoo SH like this? Yes. So there we have, it's just Odoo shell. All right. That is. How do we call it? Pass? I cannot imagine that we have something without without Odoo SH. So I must be wrong there. Okay. Okay. I'm astonished that there are no talks specifically about that, but in a way, there's nothing new under the sun. It's more like something that already existed for so long, and they would be in a booth anyway. So maybe I can show that if we have the. Do we have the list or plan with all of that at the bottom, so that I could show you where they would be located? Nope. But it will be guided, so they will have a booth that I'm sure of. Maybe in the map. I should have started with this. There you will see. Do we have then Odoo SH? Yes, there you will have them over here. That's the place where they will be. So if you have questions about Odoo SH, that is also where you can go during the Odoo experience. I'm pretty sure that this one will be fully busy. We have all of the developers, the different applications, the experts. So that's the service, part of the service zone that we have with our consultants. So that is going to be a place where lots of people gather. Okay, that was for Hassan. Then we have Ratna Kumar on LinkedIn that is saying, we are Odoo registered accountants for one of our Australian clients who use Odoo. We prepared the accounts. The trial balance was on 30th of June 2025. But when we look at the profit and loss and balance sheet for the same period, the figures are different and not matching with figures shown in the trial balance. Without the examples, it would be hard for me to see that. So first of all, if you are a registered accountant, I'm pretty sure that what you do is that you are using Odoo on the SaaS. So contact us on the support, because those kind of things we can have a look at. Most of the time, if you have things that you feel like are not correct, between, so you say profit and loss and balance sheet, so yeah, don't match what you have in the trial balance. I will check usual culprits. That will be filtering, so things that you have here that are not the same between one report and the other, or as a trial balance is going to select all the accounts. It could be, I need to check that with you, but I will need to have access to your database for this. It could be that if you go in the balance sheet of profit and loss, the way you define, and you see here we have different reports for this, the way you define it, it could be that some of the accounts are neglected, or that you take not the balance, but some other amount. And that I can maybe show. You see here, when you have a look at the Belgian one, when you want the profit and loss, ABBR is for the, is it smaller one? But I can focus on this one because I see that it gives me more information. But you have profit and loss, then operating income, then gross margin, and then we are going to have a look at the turnover and see what is inside that turnover notion. In fact, you can see it here already, where we say that we are going to, in order to find that line, we are going to select the prefix of accounts, and we select the balance of the accounts that that start with 70. And the value at the moment is this one. But if I want to have a look at this definition, I can go here and say, okay, the turnover, that is what I'm talking about when I was showing the small tooltip. This is, we are going to use this formula and select the prefix that starts, so all the accounts that start with 70. So it could be that simply on your side, here, you have a filter that is not the same that on the trial balance. It could be a date thing, it could be the filtering that you use here. You see that we have different ways of selecting it. So for this, I will need to see one account in particular that you have on one side that is not represented or represented in a different way because of a computation in the P&L or in the balance sheet. Like this, I don't know. If you know already, I could use, if you want to continue this, I can eventually have a look at something like creating a new company, Australian one, check if by default I can see it, but without the numbers, it's a bit more complicated. So I would say you can contact our support with that. We're going to have a look. If you cannot find it by yourself, where it is located in terms of difference. Aman on YouTube is saying anything new about websites. I guess so. It's also very generic, but I can have a look. It reminds me of a question that I'm asked from time to time, and it's always an answer that is very generic as well, but that's the first thing I would go to. Is the release notes of Odoo. You see here you have Odoo release notes. I'm going to move to English. So these release notes, you would see what you have in terms of different applications. So if you're interested about a website can be several things. You have blogs, you have e-commerce, you have events as a website component. Same for appointments. So you have a lot of things that you maybe want to check. If I go on the website here just for the 18.1, this is what you have. If I want to have a look at e-commerce, this is what you would get. So you see this is only for 18.1. Then if you want 18.2, you could do the same exercise. The list here won't be the same because sometimes we have application that gets revamped during a small SaaS version. So e-commerce here, we have also other things. Same for the website. So that's one way of checking. You have 18.1, 2, 3, 4, and then will be 19. So, but that will be for next week. So the only thing that would be missing here is the 19 version that will be released next week, but you will have a full keynote of everything that you need to learn. The most important things will be shown. Otherwise, same story as before. I'm going to retry my search. If we go on the talks now and we look for website, please tell me I'm correct. And we are going to have, I'm very unlucky. No, it's good. So you see here, it's going to highlight the ones that are website related. Is it just purely website features or designs? That is where you are going to see a lot of, like this one, for example, what is new in website. So if you are interested, have a look at this talk. It's just in 1 week. That will be, I think, is it on the, it's on Friday. So let's say 8 days to wait and you will have that demo so that you would see what is new in terms of websites. They will know better than I do. But otherwise, during the year, that one is not a bad check. Otherwise, on GitHub, if you really want to know what's new, another place is to go here and monitor, but that is more like tech related, of course. Checking everything that is website or website underscore something and check every time the fixes and the improvement that we have. That is one way of doing, but that's maybe a bit more complicated than having a good overview of the release notes. I would say that would be best. Ricard on YouTube is saying, in the invoicing, when I add a payment directly from an invoice, it does not connect to reconciliation. In the bank, the balance remains open with the full payment sum not matched. Yes. If I add the payment during the bank reconciliation, it connects correctly the invoice. How can I make payments from invoices and also show and match in reconciliation? You have a possibility. It is playing with the outstanding accounts, but I'm not sure I would recommend it because what really mark an invoice as paid is the fact that you receive the bank proof that it is paid. I know that the way I'm going to show changes between version somewhere between 17 and 18, but it will depend on the journal that you're going to use for the payment. So I can make a first test here. This one, did I? Yeah, I played a little bit with this one, so I'm going to create a new one so that I'm starting fresh on a new invoice. Let's select the product. This one, yes, price. Let's say it's 10. We go there, we confirm. And then if I'm doing what we said we would do, I'm saying bank manual. This one, create payment, it says in payment, and you will need to have it on the bank statement to mark it as fully paid. And have an item here that tells you how it is reconciled. So it is true that here you have a payment, but you don't have the journal entry that will match on the customer account give you a reconciliation entry. So if you want to improve this, I think it's a matter of journal configuration. I can check that now, not the sales journal, but the payment journal that you used. So I can go there and create another journal, let's say, because this one, you have a suspense account, and I don't remember if I need to use here in incoming payment, an outstanding receipt, that is the matching of the bank account. I'm going to check that with you. So I'm going to create another bank journal just for this. So bank 2. It will be a bank journal, and this time bank account. I'm going to use another one, so 55002, and call it bank 2. Reconcilable. Yes, it's on the type, I think now. I already have it. Weird, because I didn't see it. Okay, so that is it related to multi-company or branch things? I don't know. I can try with another code just for checking this one. Bank 3, bank and cash, blah 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 blah. That's maybe because of the other mappings. That is maybe that. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that it is using in other branches. I would need to specify the code. Let me check if that is it. Okay. Let's try it differently. Let's create the account first. Okay. No, still the same, and I guess that I will have the same with this. Yeah, even though it doesn't exist. So I must have made a mistake somewhere. No, this one works. Okay, don't know why it was not showing the other ones. Let's check here. It was 5.5. Indeed, it was already existing. All right, not an I guess that I must have had a type filter before. That's it. So I add already a bank 2, bank 3. Good. So I can reuse this one maybe. Yeah. Okay. And then incoming payment here. Is it this configuration? I know I'm going to not struggle but try a few things because I'm not sure anymore of if that's it. So incoming payment using the same outstanding account, and we'll see. So now that I have this, I will go there, duplicate this one, and while I confirm, I will be using on the pay button here bank 2 and see if that is different. Yes, that is it. So now it's marked as paid directly because for Odoo I said that I wanted to bypass maybe the intermediate account and go directly to here, that outstanding receipt. And I think that it's exactly the opposite in version 17, so you may have to switch the settings here. And in terms of entries, so if we have a look at this one, and yeah, maybe we can have a look at the this one and journal entry. No, let's have a look at the journal items, it will be faster. So I had my reference, my journal entry here, journal entry over there. So that's is this matching? Yes, it's the invoice of today. It's matching number 1 over here. So can I look for the matching number? If I do this, yes, it's matching this one, so I can remove this, and that is the bank 2 thing that I have. So those two are the ones that have been created. This one through the invoice, this one through the payment, and this time it goes directly to the right account instead of the intermediate account. So that I think Hassan, that's what you need for the reconciliation. But I like the two-step system because that's what happens in the reality. You maybe know that someone paid you, but then the bank is really the one that is going to confirm that. So Rakna Kumar, how to close one financial year so the profit earned are allocated to retained earning and next year have an opening balance correctly. I'm super bad at this, so I would be afraid of giving you wrong information, but I know that this is covered over there. In the accounting one, so you go in the slides as usual, as I was mentioning earlier, and then we have, let me find this one for you. Is it, yeah, you can see all quests here, and then accounting and invoicing. I'm pretty sure that you have closing, yes, closing the fiscal year. You have a video here that explains that way better than I would do it now. So this is really one place that you can go to when you're looking for a specific information. Again, I'm saying this a lot, but don't hesitate to reuse videos and things that are already available on the website online. Then Jason on YouTube is saying, "Hi Antoine, can I ask a question about Odoo website builder?" Yes. Why does my website builder insist on having a login button for me, the business owner of my website? Can I get rid of my button? I'm not sure of what you would like to avoid here. Usually you don't have, if you're logged, you don't have a login button, but maybe I can go on my own website here and go right there. Because once you are logged, I don't know which login you're talking about, because when you are logged, you don't have a login button. If I'm using, let's go back with my other guy, Henry. If I want to access this one, I have my sign-in button, and there I would need to connect with someone, like here, and then you have a login button, but you have a login button because at this moment we don't know it's you. So that is why you need a login button. So your premise is saying, I have a login button, but I'm the business owner. But you have a login button because we don't know, and you are not authentified at the moment where you need to access your website. So I'm not sure if that is what you mean. But if you want to get rid of that, you could go on this page and remove the login button, or put an error message and remove the whole form. But I'm not sure of that. If you want to remove the sign-in button here, that would be possible as well. You can go on the view that defines it, so that you keep the contact button, but you remove the sign-in one. That would be working as well. But I'm not sure if I'm getting what you want to accomplish correctly. Eventually tell me, give me the URL, so maybe not the left-hand side if you don't want to disclose your company name, but you can give me the right-hand side so that I see which page you're talking about. Maybe it's another extra button that was added that I don't know, but on a standard thing, usually you don't have unless I'm mistaken, you don't have a login button when you are already logged. And if you are not logged, we don't know it's you, so that's why you would have this. Sign in. Jason is saying, sign in the header bar on YouTube. So that's sign in, but that sign in button, we don't know. Again, I'm going to show it. Where is it? Yeah, here. But you can remove it. If we go here, let's say you want to remove it because you don't want anybody else to have access even to the login button. So two things that you need to do is remove the sign in button, but also then make sure that people cannot access that page, because honestly, you don't need to be a hacker to know that a few systems always use the same URL to get connected. So maybe somebody would know that it's anyway /web/login to get access to the login. So in addition to removing the sign in button, you could have also this removed, but maybe you say, I don't like it because it's taking space and nobody else is ever going to connect to my website. So in which case, we can go and see if there's a condition attached to this one. So what is telling me here, the sign in button? Sign in, it's in the navbar, link button here, and it's href web login. Okay, so we are going to find this one, I guess, in my views. Okay, let's go in the views of Odoo, and we can look for web login in the architecture, see if we have a lot of things. Yeah, we have a few views, but it should be maybe one that is in the header. So I'm looking for header things here. Do we have something like this? I don't know if it's one of those. Where could it be? Because we have that, and then next to it we have the contact us button, but maybe I added it. I can do also another check, which is connecting here with the editor. Ah yes, and as I'm already connected, maybe I don't see the sign in button. That would be it. Yeah, you don't see it there. So that's maybe why it's making it harder to do. Do we have some thing here in terms of edition that says that we can hide the sign-in button somewhere? Nope. Okay, and the theme isn't going to help me there. Okay, that would be a first one. There's another option that we have somewhere in the backend on the website configuration. Right here about the sign-in, but I guess yeah, it's optional, disabled by the guests. I don't think that this one is going to change this sign up assignment. Nope, 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 nope. Maybe this one. If you have only on invitation. No, you still have the sign in button here. Yeah. So we would have to remove it from the view. There's maybe another way to do that. Huh? So when you have that situation here and you know that it is related to a view that you've seen, you know it's /web/login somewhere, but you have so many views, there are a few ones that you can already exclude. Those ones, because they are not related to the website, and you need anyway to have a login thing, even though you don't have the document application, which is the left hand side here. Same for sales subscription. Point of sale is the same, so it shouldn't be those ones. Website knowledge, same. The text for it, it's not a QWeb view, so I can remove it as well. So what else do we have? Auth sign up, or just the web login, the regular page. So it must be one of the other ones, but it's located in a navbar as well, so I could have a look at that. There was a notion of navbar like this one that I can have a look at. Do we have something like this somewhere? Hopefully the class gets defined at that place as well, because otherwise my search is not correct. And maybe that's something that I'm going to figure out, by the way. Okay. Yeah, it's not that. I can maybe check look like this one, but then temple. That's better. Then maybe it is that the login link is not /web/login, but just a variable that we use, because here that one I didn't see it before. So here I access another way of checking the architecture that I used by going here again, right click, inspect, and look at a few culprits. So I started with the href web login. I guess it's generated without the text that would be searchable, so the navbar thing here looks better. Since here it's telling me about some header things, so I can maybe go there and look for that thing, placeholder user sign in. Okay, that would be the one. So can I remove this? It's not this one, apparently. Which I'm a bit surprised, because I really thought it would be this one. But if it's not this one, is it that I'm using? But okay, there's this one as well, where we replace something. Okay, and then yes, all right. Oops. Yes, and then it disappeared. So, of course, don't do it that way. Do it another way, that is through inherited views, or, and I'm going to read the message there, because it's, yeah, so that is what I meant with the notion of inherited views. I covered this several times during the Odoo experience, so Odoo Insider, so that's also something that we can discuss after. Invalid locators, nodes, anchor to parent view. Okay. Then another thing is you have those two views that are the same. When you change something, Odoo is going to create this one based on this one because I edited something, and I think that you can see by having a look at this metadata. So created on 10th of July, last edition here, while the other one was, I think, created before. No. Then maybe 9/24. Let me check the other one. And 924. I'm astonished because I thought that those would be having two different dates. So, long story short, anyway, have a look at the other one. Looks like Odoo is taking the second one, not the first one, but I don't remember why. That is something for which I would need some expert explanation, because I don't know why we duplicate this one to make it this one that will be the main one. I wonder if it's not the external ID. As this one has an external ID, it belongs to Odoo, and so we prefer to make it possible to revert back to the base view at any time, while this one you can make any change you want on it without affecting the one that has the external ID of Odoo, so that it is upgrade resilient. So that could be the reason why, in which case this could be deleted from the view. But that is it. Thanks for your thanks, by the way, Jason. Okay, I don't know if you have any other question at the moment. No, it would be the first time that we don't have any. Yes, we can. Yes, we can do that. So it's the first time. It has been a while since we didn't have a session where we have questions unanswered, but that's good. Yeah, we maybe have a few other ones. I'll let you check, but otherwise, good thing is this. Remember, we have that magic link where you can have all the previous sessions. It's a bit small. I'm sometimes talking about that. We have sessions that date 2024. We have 2025 here. Lots of sessions. Then, oh, we have a few missing. If you have a look. Because here, if we have no live due to the OSP, but it will come. I'm bothering Arthur with that. Oh, okay. And then you have a few extra links here, like the implementation methodology, the example of given by Emanuele when we have tech sessions. Other things that I could add is maybe regularly the things like I could add a bit more with the tutorials, the links that we talk about. I could make this a bit longer. So here you don't have access because it's very long, but otherwise it's just odoo.com/r/tke. That is what we do have. As we have a bit of time, maybe what I can do, I have a question on my own, because I was telling you about another one on Reddit that I had yesterday. It's a bit long for 8 minutes, so I'm not sure I would be able to cover all of that, but it's something. 8 minutes? No? No, it's try. I will try. Okay, this is the one. In fact, I like a few things. I'm not a huge Reddit user, but sometimes I see on different platforms things that are related to Odoo. And this one was quite cool, especially since I see some people helping each other on the community. I'm going to talk about that guy in particular because I know he follows the show right here, Code Agency. Oops. So with a first answer that is quite good actually. Usually your answers are always good, so that is really cool. And I was mentioning I could maybe help. So the idea is the following: it's quite hard to sell things that have, let's say, several dimensions, and that you want them to impact your price. If you have something like in a print shop, you have maybe products for which you have something like this printed product, and when you go there, you have a sale price. But the sale price, even if you say €2, but it's €2 per watt, it's per unit. We see here, and there's you could use maybe the easy answer would be say, yeah, you could just have to use square meters or square centimeters, because since, well, in the example here, it's square foot, that's something that you could do. I'm going to use a metric system instead because I'm really not acquainted to foot and inches and all of that. But then, what's the issue with this is that when you go on a quotation, you select a customer and then you say product is, what was it? It was printed something. Oops. So you have a printed product, you have quantity, but if you say 300, the person that is buying from you doesn't know if what matters is 300 square foot or square meters, while what he wants is maybe 300 flyers with a specific unit of measure. And so that is the first thing. You don't know what the quantity is related to. And the second thing is that the unit price is not computed according to two dimensions, but just according to quantity. Because what you would need is one length, one width that computes an extra quantity that gives you a price, and then you have a quantity of that item. If you need to do that, I have two main methods. The first one that I'm not going to discuss because you will have this available on YouTube. If you go on Odoo's, oh, you don't need to go on Odoo's. You can go and here say quote calculator, Odoo quote calculator, right there. This is what you would get. You have an exercise of Hugo that made, I think that's the one, yeah, 3 months ago, I think that's the one. So you have a long exercise of 55 minutes where you could get how to have a quotation template that is linked to a spreadsheet where you compute the numbers and then you send them back to Odoo. The drawback of this is that you need to have somewhere in the quotation template, either as many quotation template as you have series of products, or have all the products in the quotation template, make a computation there. So at times it can be a bit difficult. Otherwise, another way you can answer this is through a small, a few changes with Studio, where you would have, if you sell mostly those kind of products, you could have here a few extra columns, and those columns will in turn change the price. But that would mean that you need to understand how the price lists work and before you get rid of it. So I'm explaining myself here. When I'm selecting a product here, the fact that I'm adding a new product technically in that list, Odoo makes something that we call our on change. The value of a field changes, so we recompute things later. That is explained in the code of Odoo you have no access to, or at least on the SaaS you cannot change it that way. You need to make some extra development. That is, by the way, another avenue if you want to make this work, create your own module because you have a specific industry. Then, second thing that you can do is say, okay, but this one, I would like to stop the way the unit price gets computed because the price lists that are in Odoo will not be able to compute the price because it's based on a quantity and not a square metering or something like this. In that case, I would work maybe differently and say, let's have a button somewhere that will recompute the prices if we detect that this one is a product that is that has several lengths, width, and things like that. You could be using this. It would require to have a few things. Maybe I'm going there. The first thing I'm thinking of is having very quickly a checkbox that says, is it a surface product? I'm going to say this surface product. And waiting a little bit. Okay, if it's a surface product, which is just a checkbox, we can add maybe a new field that would be a decimal with the length. Okay, I'm going to create another one. That would be the width. Yeah, here. And I'm not going to create a new price field per length, per square meter. I'm going to reuse the one that we have here, even though here it could be centimeters or meters. You have to make a decision there. What matters is really how to create the computation, what tools you have access to, not really the computation itself. Then what we could do is say, those two, let's make them invisible if the surface product, do I already have access to it? Surface product is not set, it should be invisible. And it will be the same for the other one here. If the surface product is not set, then let's make it invisible. All right, so that would be a quick way to show things. And I could say that I'm not even sure that what I'm doing here is correct because maybe that's the default value and I would have to reuse it after. Yes, that's maybe that. Maybe here it's incorrect. I better use it here. And do the following, reuse the same kind of notions, like the decimal here. No, first I need to open this view and say that I'm going to use a decimal value over there. Oops. And say same length. All right, and I will make this read only. Can I jump into the product? Product. Yeah, product. I have many things, but I can go. I can dive into the product and check if it is a specific product that is how do we call that, surface product. So we could add another condition, a bit more complicated, that would go and say, okay, if it's I make it read only. If it's not a surface product, I won't do that now, but just so you know, it could be doable as well. So I have width and length. Then length. Oh, sorry, that is stupid. It's width, but then because of this, I have my. No, it's okay. The technical name is correct. All right. So I have width and length here, and I could say, okay, 1, 2. But the thing is that the price is not changing. So what I could do is recompute this based on the width and length and quantity before we get the price. But then the thing is that the price is computed anyway according to the quantity if I use a price list. So I need to find to ignore the default way of working and cut it so that we don't use a price list for this. One way of doing that would be, you can create a button first or create an automated automation rule. That would be the following, in which I'm going to, it's just a proof of concept. I'm not saying that it is the right answer. Recompute price. And I'm checking if I could use even something else for doing this, a bit of AI or things like that, but sale order line. So I'm going to use the sale order line for this. No, not logs, sale order line. And I'm going to say if the product is blah 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 product, yes, has its surface thing set. I already did the domain because this one I always forgetting to change the trigger. I will do it on UI change, yeah, and that we apply it on yes, this one, and we change when updating the product or when updating the width, and we'll see if it works, because I know that there I may be competing with the default way of Odoo working. I will try to recompute the price when I'm changing one of those 3 fields and say well, recompute price. Here I'm going to execute code and say that I want you, for this record, I'm taking the product and I'm taking the list price and I'm multiplying it by the width. I'm multiplying it with the X Studio. I just have for 5 more minutes max for this one, I think, and then we put this as yeah, I'm going to check if it's with the right. I'm not sure it's the correct way to do this. Oops. So new price right there, and I'm going to write the unit price. Unit price. It's maybe price unit. I need to check that. We can check that by going here. I think it's price unit. Yeah, price underscore unit. So it's price underscore unit, and we say now it's the new price. We can try this quite quickly. There could be a few drawbacks, like anyway, every time you change the quantity, it's going to fail because I should also multiply it by the quantity. It's product. I think it's product. UOM quantity or QTY. QTY, product UOM QTY. QTY. Alright, so I'm going to write that, but what is telling me? I didn't close the. Yes, right there. Let's try. I'm expecting this to fail, but let's see. Okay, 1 times 2, and I think the price is 2, but quantity is 3, so this one doesn't look like it's working. Let's try another time. No, and the price doesn't change. I'm going to reuse this one and check something different. That would be create a server action. What I was saying is that it's computing, so as I'm changing quantities and other fields, maybe you don't see that Odoo recomputes it correctly, and then it gets erased automatically by the default way of working of Odoo. One way we can check that is the following. Check first if it is working well by doing this. Again, raise user error, and we are going to say the new price. And we see if that is working. Going here, refreshing, then let's try to see if, yes, 36, which is 2 times 3 times 3 times 2, I guess 2 times 3, 6 times 3, 18 times 2, 36, this is correct. So the computation is working, but it's not changing the unit price, so I suppose that is two reasons. Either it's not with the right clause that I need to do this, it's maybe more like this that I need to do, and if it's not that, then the answer is different. It gets overwritten by the default way of doing of Odoo, and then I would rather use a server action and click on it manually. Let's try if this is working better. Not sure. Oops. Yes, good. That is working. So it's just the way I wrote it that was incorrect. So that we can maybe comment. Is it working? No, I would need to comment it manually. So that would work. And this, I would say maybe that it only needs to happen if record.product_id.xstudio surface product. That's it. Surface product. It was. Xstudio Surface Product, yeah. If this is true, then change the computation price, otherwise don't change it. So that would mean, let's go back here on my usual sell order. There, if I'm using a Canon product here, quantity 3, yeah, that is not changing the price, but here it is. So that is good. The only thing is that I'm not using a price list mechanism anymore. You need to rely on different things. Other improvement would be to make those things 0 all the time if it's not a printed product. But you get the idea. This can be done. This way, if it's always same kind of product, that works particularly well if your company is mostly selling those kind of products. Because otherwise you could add lots of columns. Also, the Excel way of working would work as well. So possibly that is it. It can be even more complex, but that's a quick poke on those kind of things. That is it, guys. Happy to have the session with you once again. We don't see each other next week, but in 2 weeks on version 19, it will be a discovery for me as well. Hopefully we see each other at the Odoo experience. Don't hesitate to come by and say hello. Bye-bye, guys. Enjoy it. Cheers.